binary questions could just be what kills your sales. Welcome to Sales for Nice People. And yes, of course, you have to ask questions if you're going to land a sale, because here, true to Sales for Nice People, we ask our way to the sale, we don't talk our way to the sale. But there are different kinds of questions. And I've had a few messages recently asking how to ask questions, what kinds of questions. Obviously, the Sales for Nice People book is full with questions. There's a whole section with questions to ask your buyer. So if you haven't read the book, go get it and read the book. But there is some thinking that goes behind questions. Basically, there are two kinds of questions. One starts with a verb and the other one starts with an interrogative. If you ask your buyer questions such as, would this solve the problem that you have? Or have you tried other solutions for this problem? Or should we talk about logistics and pricing? You're asking a verb-based question and it's a binary question. It's a yes or no question. The problem with that is that you might get an answer, but it might not be a helpful answer. Suppose your buyer says, no, we've not tried anything before. Well, where do you go from there? Or maybe your buyer says, yeah, we've tried to solve it, but it didn't work. Okay, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Yeah, it was a long project, it was very expensive, very costly. Tell us, how are you going to solve our problem? This is how your conversation gets stuck, which is if you ask questions that make people think, now you're using questions that actually make the conversation more functional, more useful, more helpful, both for your buyer, because they get a better view on the problem and how to maybe solve it, but also for you, because you're now getting more intel and you're advancing the sale. So instead of asking, would this be a good time to look at a solution? Should we schedule another meeting? Ask questions that make them think, such as, what would make this solution work for you? Or conversely, you could ask, what would cause this project to fail? Is there anything in your business that would make our implementation difficult to achieve that we can look at and solve? Or ask your buyer, what other kind of solutions have you tried before? Which is very different from, have you tried other solutions before? How urgent is it for you to solve this problem? What all of these questions have in common is that they advance the conversation. They elicit more information. They invite your buyer to invest more mental real estate, more time, more brain power into the dynamic, into the conversation. That is helpful for you, it's helpful for the buyer, and it is the way of Sales for Nice People. Go to salesfornicepeople.com/sign up, where you can get a short daily email, and I will see you again tomorrow.